too bad. Hey. Hopefully the audio isn't going to be too awful. Fortunately, Steam doesn't save the cloud data for Deadspace 1, so I'll start Deadspace 2 and then... yeah, this is my parents' place. Hopefully that works. Hopefully that's okay.
Isaac, are you there? Come in, Isaac. Oh God, I'm so sorry, Isaac. Look at the time difference. I'll call you back later.
It's okay. How you doing?
Good. You're right, Isaac. The Ishimura is a great ship. I am so lucky to be serving aboard her.
Enjoy it while it lasts. You know they're gonna decommission her next year.
Isaac, thank you.
For what?
That one line
Just pushing me to do this. I mean, if it weren't for you, I never would have made it this far, because you made me stick with it.
I'll just remember, I'm giving you up for 6 months so you can do this.
You know what, we must be getting arranged there, Nick.
I'll adjust it as soon as I can adjust the game audio. Thank you.
Isaac! You were drifting away for a moment there, Mr. Clark. I believe you were telling me about your nightmares that you've been having.
Cutscenes.
About your dead girlfriend. What was her name?
Nicole.
I didn't want it to end like this. I really wanted to see you again. Just once.
Spoilers for the end of Dead Space 1, which we will finish as soon as it's back in Saskatoon.
Nicole Brennan. She was a senior medical officer stationed aboard a Planet Cracker-class vessel.
Ishimura.
USG Ishimura, yes. Part of a mining operation on Aegis 7. I understand communications went down shortly after their arrival. You were part of the repair mission. A mission for which you volunteered, am I right? What did you find aboard that ship, Isaac?
I found something.
What did they find aboard the ship, Isaac?
The marker.
Did you have contact with this marker?
The marker
It made you
is a
see
scary
things,
term. It is
things
so
you didn't
funny.
want to see.
Like,
It spoke to me.
What did it say,
the
Isaac?
little marker.
What did it say to you, Isaac?
Oh, it's the marker. It's coming for you.
Isaac, can you hear me?
Sorry.
Isaac. Isaac, can you hear me?
Oh, this bit's a lot. Okay, be
Dana,
prepared. It's gonna
I
be
found
really
Isaac Clarke.
gory in a minute.
Repeat, I have him.
So if that's not your thing,
Be careful. He's been out of...
yeah, okay, let's turn on the audio. Let me know if this is acceptable audio levels. Oh, why am I so yawny? Well, yeah, I'm finally feeling awake and focused, so I'll get on stream, and I guess not.
Long time.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me if that's good.
Good, good. Steady, steady, steady. We gotta get you out of this straitjacket.
I think I need to go quieter, actually. Let's go down to 60.
Where am I? Alright, I know you're confused right now. I can explain everything, but you gotta trust me, okay? Listen, you're in terrible, terrible danger.
Oh, good. Oh, great. That's awesome. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Franco? Franco, what happened? Oh God.
Let me run.
Isaac Clarke, if you can hear me, run! Run!
This is fine. It's all fine. It's all good. Everything's fine, chat. We're all fine here. Hello. Okay. Save station. Isaac Clarke, luckiest and also unluckiest man alive.
Come on, take it down!
That's fine. It's okay. Let me run. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. It's all good. I have no health, so this is gonna go great.
Strauss, Section 158. Now. My eye's looking much better today, yes, don't you think?
It hurts. It still hurts.
Yes, I'll schedule you for another session tomorrow.
I also might miss some comments just because I have like drawing tablet and the monitor right now.
First thing tomorrow.
So I
Let's talk
apologize.
about what you saw today.
A little lower quality of stream than usual.
Come on, Strauss. I'm here to help you.
It was black. Deep black and glowing red with symbols. Symbols whispered to me. And what did the symbols whisper to you? Come on, Strauss. What?
This game starts with just like the mistreatment of
Put so much stuff in my head, so much shit in my head. There's no more room for anything. I can't remember what he looks like. I can't remember what he...
The symbols, Strauss. What did the symbols tell you?
It's all fine. Everything's going okay. We're okay. I'm sure.
Come on, man.
Patient 4, I remember you. Tied said all the key subjects need to be eliminated. Terminated.
Oh, that's cool, man. Tails. I'm glad it was fun.
There's one more.
Listen to me, man.
What matter?
Listen to me. We can both get out of here. Just cut me out of this straitjacket.
No one's getting out of here alive.
Don't do it.
There's no escaping from what I've done.
Take it easy, buddy.
You can barely hear me. Is this better? Is that better? Is that better? Let me know.
Your rig is red. It's red.
Thank you, Eleanor. I appreciate it.
There's a health pack and a flashlight in that wall locker.
Is this good? Is it? Did I turn the gain up enough? I hope so.
Go ahead. Take it. I won't be needing it anymore. Isaac, we're all gonna burn for what we did to you.
Okay, well, that's definitely visuals I don't want to look at. We're gonna leave.
Clarke. Isaac Clarke, is that you?
Who are you?
My name is Dana. I'm the one trying to rescue you.
Why? What's going on?
I'm gonna try something. I'm just gonna go to my desktop audio and put that down to -6.5. There we go. I should be significantly louder now.
Form of dementia, Isaac. Something you contracted on Aegis 7.
How do you know that? How do you know all this about me?
Your dementia will kill you. But if you can get here, I can treat you and get you to safety.
Why should I trust you?
Because I'm not the one shooting at you.
Fuck.
Just follow the route I'm sending you.
Well, Dead Space 2 overall does have a more horror focus, action focus than the first. This first section is truly awful. Fucking hell, game. I hate loud noise jump scare. Oh, thank God. Same stations. Okay. You can really see, because this was still in that era where, like, 2 games in the same franchise would be, you know, significantly different in quality. Something's gonna jump out at me. Oh no, it's just gonna be the visions. This is fine. This is fine. I'm fine. I can hear it. Oh God. Okay. We're going there? Okay. It's fine. It's fine, chat. The early sections of these games, before you get a weapon, are just... Oh. Era time.
Isaac, what happened? Are you alright?
Why are you helping me?
If Tyrone finds you, more people will die.
Including me.
Not if you follow my route.
I don't like this.
You don't have to like it. Just hurry before you get locked in.
I love that Isaac stays, at least in this game, very much an engineer in an interesting way. Nope. I don't have anything to fight you with, so we're getting out of here. Let me through, 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 let me through. Fuck, 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 fuck. Okay. No, Killian's back home in Saskatoon. My upstairs roommates are, or housemates more accurately, are feeding him. Okay. Hello. Great, that's awesome. That went really well. I am trapped. I'm gonna die. This is going great, chat. Truly magnificent. Part of the reason I didn't bring Killian down, like, one is just the hassle of transporting a cat. If you've ever tried to transport a cat, it's a time. He's not bad about it, but he's just not a fan of the experience. Okay. Okay, so telekinesis is way more powerful in this game. Holy shit. Like, in the first game, you can use telekinesis, I guess, but, like, it's not a core aspect of gameplay, in my opinion. Okay. We can fight.
Please help me! Oh God, please do something!
any other objects I can pick up? That thing is not easy. Okay, I'm getting ammo. That's a good sign. I'll come help you in a minute. I just want to deal with this big boy. If the game will let me. Okay, no, it won't let me. I don't know, I've tried to use it in DS1 and it just was not.
Calm down. I'll cut you out of there. Is that a tissue laser? A plasma cutter?
Oh my god!
Fuck.
What the fuck are you doing?
Shit.
Help!
I'm trying.
Help!
I'm trying.
Okay, the plasma cutter's a little weaker. The dismemberment's good, though. Okay. Give me your spike. Let's deal with this boy. Please. Stop. There we go. I guess it would only let it be damaged by the plasma cutter to ensure the player actually gets the plasma cutter. But...
Isaac, it's Dana. You have to dismember the creatures to stop them.
I know. I've had a lot of practice.
Just try to...
Thanks.
I like that this game doesn't take like as much time with like you need to dismember. It just says it once. But the first game, this is something everybody was watching mentioned too, is like 10 or 15 instances of they made a meteor. What a comment. Okay. What a thing to say. They made the stomping meteor. My deadly broomstick. Show me an enemy. Game. You gotta stop false jump scaring me, game. There it is. I heard him. You can impale them. I thought he was dead. Clearly, I was mistaken. No. What? Like... There we go. I was like, I need healing. Yeah, there's definitely an interesting commentary here about the treatment of patients in mental wards and stuff. And I find that interesting considering the first game's engagement with anything remotely related to mental health being so messy as it was, that... Oh, I did not mean to stomp. I did not mean to stop. The spacebar on this keyboard's kind of messed up, so there may be times where I just randomly sit there stomping. Okay. Where are you? I know you're here. I'm going that way. It's fine. I have to say, this game is much more generous with ammo early on. Like, yeah, I've already almost got 2 stacks.
Isaac, come on, they're after us.
Wait! Who is? Who's after us?
I feel like this is a bad idea. The flashing lights are a lot. I'm sorry, chat.
Isaac, through here. Come on, Isaac. No, Isaac, remember me. Patient 5, remember? Do you remember?
Dana, your fucking route didn't work. There's a security lockdown.
I told you to hurry. How'd you miss it?
Look, I don't need your help.
Fine. Let's see how long you last around.
Shit. Goddamn. I can't aim worth shit today. Oh, it's all fine now.
Okay, you're right. I do need your help.
One sec. I'm just gonna read through chat real quick because I have to like alt tab to see them. I mean, that's fair, Eleanor, except that like most of my friends who've been in one of those facilities have had horrifically abusive experiences, so
Talk to me.
Look, Isaac.
that's
we
fine
don't
that
have to be
you
friends.
have that perspective, but most of those facilities
Ivan's
are
your
awful.
enemy, not me.
This is a
I found you a new route.
well-shown fact.
So where the hell am I? How did another necromorph outbreak get started?
You're on Titan Station orbiting Saturn. As for the outbreak... Shit! Tideman's jamming my signal.
Nice, power node. Please refer all registered complaints of anxiety and or psychological problems to the other hospitals in the area. We're booked up and running low on mood-elevating medications. With the recent CEC layoffs and increasing tensions between unitologists and EarthGov, I thought that was enough of a spike in cases. This new wave is something entirely. Dr. Brian Alpers, psychology. Yeah, it was something else. It was marker sickness. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing, Control, John. I want to be clear. There are people who have positive experiences with those facilities, but their stories are pretty rare. So, and yeah. Okay. How does... I see, I need to find blue pot spots. Okay. Oh, good. Okay, in this game, the stasis meter recharges over time. That's good. I'm gonna use it a lot more. Oh, I see. That was the wrong item too. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I know you can pull off one of its claws. I've been doing that a little bit when I can. Definitely nine-tailed. Oh, hey, Haley. How you doing? It's definitely something where quality varies. I had a great experience. My first one in the town I grew up in, but I've had bad experiences since. Yeah, exactly. Like, it varies. The problem is that, like, incarceration and the often antagonistic way that these facilities are built, combined with the unilateral power that individuals have in them, mean that they're rife for abuse of power, right? So, I mean, it's like any situation where you give way too much power to individuals, without much in the way of oversight and checks that have them. There's also just generally not much sympathy for mentally ill people who are in severe crisis. So.
What the fuck?
Not the twinkle twinkle again. I don't like the twinkle twinkle cat. Deal with that problem first. Those balloons are loud.
Chairman Donovan, this is Dr. Brooks. I've said this many times and I'll say it again. I don't like the secrecy behind the new labs they're installing in the Psych Wing. It's been 3 years and we don't have the faintest clue what's going on. Such secrecy has no place in an open and free society. Their networks are so isolated that we can't even tell they have one, let alone sift through it to see if anything unethical is taking place right under our noses. If we don't get some traction on this soon, I'm going to go to Tideman and insist on formal review of these policies.
Hey, that's a perfect example of what I was talking about with the, like, you know, giving unilateral power to people with little to nothing that checks out of them, and then them abusing it. Themes, perhaps. Let me shoot. Game. Pretty sure later in the game you can use those on purpose to suck necromorphs out into space. Whoa! Fuck! I should have checked that. Okay. I'm satisfied he's dead. We'll go to the store and then we'll save.
Welcome to Microstore. CEC engineer Isaac Clark. Updating inventory to CEC engineering loadout.
Okay. Interesting, there's different versions of the weapons. Oh, it's probably DLC stuff, I guess. I should probably wear one of these suits. Medpack bonus additional 15%. Oh, that's not bad. Purchase guarantee is a minimum of 15 inventory, so that's I feel like it's kind of cheating to use these though. I'm gonna not use them. I'm gonna avoid the cheaty weapons and stuff. And we'll just play it legit. Because I'm the video game crew. I'm the one who wins. Sorry, that voice clip never stops being funny to me. Also, I'm gonna quickly check through messages again. I hate that I can't see things. I didn't finish Dead Space 1. The problem is that my Steam doesn't save Dead Space 1 save files to the cloud. So we still have like a chapter to go on Dead Space 1, but I'll just do it when I'm back home on my usual computer and not at my parents' place. God, it took me so much effort to get this thing fucking working today, so... Yeah, I shouldn't use these weapons. As much as they look fun. Okay, you know what? I'm fine with that one. Because that one isn't like a flat, like, breaking the game weapon. It's a risk and... Like, the reload's slower, but the damage is up. Chat thoughts? Is that okay? Is that not okay? It's not fine. They just don't cloud save. Yeah, definitely digital beef. Sometimes that it can mess things up. I hate that I have to fucking... So this game doesn't have... Just to show that I'm not like... It only has full screen. It doesn't have the option for window... Like it's before we got a standardization of you know, windowed full screen, and the chat window for me is like yay big, and I can see 2 messages at a time. So, you know, actually what I might do is drag it out. Yeah, I won't be able to see my stream setup super well, but that's fine. I'll be able to see the relevant information. Okay, now I can actually see chat messages. I didn't really pay for the DLC. I just bought Dead Space 1 through 3 on like deep sale when they were like $10. I'm using it. It's fine. I don't think it breaks the game. Thank you so much for... Molly! Thank you. How are you doing, Molly? Hey, Couch MOBA, how are you doing? I won't say your actual... I was like... I almost said your actual name, and I was like, I shouldn't do that. How are you doing? That's one of the always weird things of having a lot of video essayist friends, is that you end up... Is there any normal versions of weapons that are not DLC weapons that I can buy right now with 9,000 credits? No? Okay. I feel like is there missing items? There's no, like, health or ammo or anything. Oh, it's fine. I'm glad you're doing good, Molly. Thank you, Molly. I appreciate it. Okay. God, this game, you move so much faster in this game than Dead Space 1. Like, you can really feel that shift towards a more of an action focus. Hello, big boy! It's boss time! Fuck! That was some bullshit. Let me sever your limbs. Is it that easy? Oh, you tricky motherfucker.
Jesus, that thing was angry. Dana, I'm out of the hospital.
Okay, the tram station is just beyond the apartment block.
Hang on. I need more answers. How long have I been here?
3 years. Tideman found you floating in space near Aegis 7 and brought you here for study.
Why can't I remember anything?
The marker you found imprinted your brain with a self-replicating signal. The longer you're awake, the more the signal spreads. It's killing you, Isaac. Tideman tried to keep it in check with memory suppressants.
You said you could fix it, right?
Only if you reach me in time.
See, I've never accidentally, like, given Romans for that I knew I couldn't, you know? But it's always funny because you always like are. Oh, I can't say that, you know? Okay. I could have sworn it came from that direction. What's over here? I'm definitely not supposed to go here. But what is down here? Like, this is some special secret area I found? Does anyone know? I'm definitely not supposed to be going down here. It's interesting. Oh, no, I was supposed to go down here. Well, that's confusing. Oh, and now we actually have access to the store for real. Okay. I feel like the javelin gun would be fun. I don't know. Oh, can you change what your guidelines aims at in this one? Interesting. I'm gonna leave that for now. I'm not sure I need another weapon at this exact moment, plus I don't have the best inventory space for multiple weapons. Yeah. What we are gonna do is upgrade the best weapon in any game ever. I also think I'm going to upgrade stasis a lot more in this one. Okay. There we go. That makes things better. I was so confused. I was like, I swear that's where I came from. I'm at full health, so... I really don't have much inventory space to work with, so there's no point in getting a weapon right now. Oh, good to know. Thanks, Eleanor. I will equip the line gun and just not use it. Oh, good. That's easy. Okay. No, I was actually thinking of I started playing Resident Evil 4 last night while I was watching some stuff with OK, and in that game, swapping weapons means opening the inventory. Thank you for the ammo. I really love how Deadspace as a franchise handles oh, the contact beam, not okay. Checkpoint restart. Let's hope that is before I bought all that stuff. I believe it is. Excellent.
Listen up. This is Sorensen from CEC. Cut off their limbs. It's the only way they go down. It's their limbs. That's the secret. Comms are down. We can't get a broadcast out, so tell everyone you see.
Alright. It's all good. What's this time I know about the what's it? Okay. Let's purchase stuff. I can't acquire the what's it yet without using the DLC stuff that I don't want to touch. The contact beam? Yeah. Is the contact beam the one that's worth a bunch of money? I feel like that's kind of cheating to buy it right now. Well, I'll get a contact beam next time I'm at a store then, when it unlocks. And for now, I'll just stick to my, best friend. Best friend. Did I accidentally just destroy those credits? Okay, no. That would have been kind of funny.
Attention. This is Director Teichman.
There's something really funny to me about me singing while tearing something apart. That's a normal thing to do. I forgot to sell stuff. I'll probably only need 3 of those on me at any given time. Yeah, it's number keys in DS1.
Attention. This is Director Teichman. A station-wide emergency is in effect.
Okay. I'll probably go for the end of chapter 2 and then we'll read some Poe and then I'll call it a night. I used all my power nodes and I can't buy anymore, so... Oh well. Never mind! Power node acquired! You know, you're a young developer when you see something like a moving walkway and you think to yourself, I wonder what poor bastard had to pull their hair out over that. truly, yeah, I was looking at that and I was like, that's impressively well done. That must have been awful to program. Physics objects are not fun. Someone who's built a movement system based purely off of physics and in Unity before, which I do not recommend doing, that is a recipe for a bad time. Is that force gun ammo? Oh, I should probably just run this power node schematic back to the store. Game just loading me down. That's the funny thing about code and tech and things, is people don't understand that stuff that, like, should be really quote-unquote simple, like, it feels like it should be simple, is really complicated. That's why, like, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom is just unbelievably impressive as a work of art for so many reasons, but especially just that physics. Like, how they got all of those physics systems to work together. Oh, hi! How am I doing for inventory space? I didn't sell the things. I'm a silly, silly goof. How well organized I am. It's fine. That's interesting that they allow you to stack stasis packs in this version.
This is Director Teichman.
That must have been difficult, Eleanor. Sandboxes and imsims are just so impressive from a design standpoint. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Isaac! Isaac, over here! Who are you?
It's the drugs, Isaac. They gave us drugs to make us forget. But it's all coming.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why are you calling me?
Isaac! Isaac, look out!
Oh good, the jumpy boy. Hello again. I think it's really funny that you can kill them with their own arms. There he is. I knew there had to be at least one thing in here. They really did improve the design on Deadspace 2's necromorphs. Does that have a spike on it? Yeah, I wanted a spike. Thank you. That's not a good sound. I lost my spike. Disappointing. Fuck off using a fucking, washing machine to make noise like that? Okay. That's fine. Hello. Come here. They're a lot faster in this one. You also have way more tools to deal with them, so it's fine. Sometimes the best tactic is to just stand in a corner. Yeah, I think Dead Space 1 just has a unique vibe to me. Like, I get why people like Jacob Geller prefer Dead Space 2. I think it's a very cleanly designed game. But for me, I think Dead Space 1's always going to hold just a really special place. It just sits in my head, rent-free. There isn't as much, like, area to explore in this one.
There are necromorphs everywhere. Is the entire
That's
sprawl
valid,
infected?
Ninetail.
How this happened? The marker was destroyed, Dana. I destroyed it.
You destroyed a marker, Isaac. Tybin built another one.
On this station?
Like, Dead Space 1 managed to get a certain tone across that's really unique and really powerful.
Dana? Damn it.
There we go. Sorry. I don't know what I can do for you. Okay. I think contact energy is probably worth more than... It'd be really cool if I could get,
Holy shit!
inventory space upgrades sometime soon. Oh yeah, definitely. DS1 plays with your expectations quite horribly, in a good way. What? Oh, good. Hi. I heard one behind me. I don't like that. Fuck, 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 fuck. That's a new noise. In DS1, they just fuck you. They'll just drop on top of you and explode. Okay. That's not sensory hell at all. I hear you. Okay. Well, I gotta drop something. You fuck off, physics objects blocking my shots. That physics object really just screwed me over. That physics object really said, you're gonna have a bad day. I should step on bodies. God, it's just giving me useless weapon ammo that I don't have. Like, I literally only have this gun. Game. Probably because the DLC things mess up your ammo drop pool. I watched a really good horror movie earlier today. It's called Savage Land. It's like a mockumentary. About what appears to be like a massacre committed by one person, but then it turns out to like not be that. And I don't want to. I want you to go in with like as little understanding as possible if you go watch it, because it's free on YouTube. Just look up Savage Land. It will fuck you up. It's a lot, but it's very good. It's just, it was such an interesting show, and I think more interestingly than just like, oh, it's well written horror. Oh, hi. I can't see the prompt. Game. I am running low on ammo, I know it. Okay. That seems safe, Isaac. It's got a good combination of terrifying visuals and like conceptually upsetting, but also like it's emotionally really powerful and also has a lot to say politically. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, this is a really well made work of art. It's one of those hard things where like giving away too much like lowers some of the impact. I'm not generally someone who gives a shit about oh, okay, fuck. This is not good. Fuck, man. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'd say Dead Space 1 is like an atmospheric experience and Dead Space 2 is a roller coaster. And like, of the two, I'm more interested in the atmospheric one, but I do really appreciate a well-designed roller coaster. Okay, I need a save point and then...
Where am I?
How did you end up there? Hang on. This won't be the most pleasant route, but it'll get you to the Cassini Towers residential sector. Damn it! Hyman had to signal again. Who's moving?
Okay.
You're very important to the mine. Hold tight. I'll contact you soon.
Yes! I found a power node. I'm not missing anything. There's definitely an enemy up these stairs. Oh no, there's not. Okay. Well, we're gonna save. Yeah, Dead Space 3, player 2 has all of the fun. I would agree with that comparison, Couch MOBA. Oh yeah, no, like I think Dead Space manages to diegetically handle so many things so well. Yeah. What time is it? Oh, I've only played for like an hour. We can do it a little longer. We can do a little longer. I'm having fun. We're gonna play a little bit longer. Even though I really should be working on other things. Oh god, it's the children. It's the children. I don't like undead kids. Undead kids are Cool. Store's that way. They're very loud. Free resources.
I think you're still alive. We can't. I think they're tracking our signals. Are the memories coming back to you? They're coming back to me. The good ones. And the bad ones. The more I remember, the more my head hurts. I keep seeing the symbols. The symbols too, Isaac. In him. I keep seeing his face. Shit, tell me.
Do I get the pulse rifle? I'm hoping that I haven't, like, missed a level 2 upgrade for the suit. Gee, I think I need, I'm gonna get one node right now. That kid did side flip, that was funny. Oh, I know what I'm getting. I need ammo. I need healing. That's pretty dark. Sorry. Just dead. Just let them be dead. God, oh, I do not like this. I know it's like literally like the lowest, like every, you know, horror franchise ever has done the creepy kid thing, and it shouldn't get to me because it's so common, but it always does. It just, I don't know, something about like fucked up kids.
Hey Dana, there's this crazy guy that keeps contacting me. I saw him back at the hospital.
Nolan's friend. He was a patient in the project, just like you.
Yeah? Why was he there? What does he want?
He's a psychopath, Isaac. Stay clear of him. He murdered his own wife and child.
Okay, I'll be careful.
Will be shot on sight. This is not a drill. Move immediately to the nearest evac.
Game, you were close to like trying to say something about mental. Nice. Hacking minigames, the bane of my existence. They are both inaccurate and annoying.
Dana, I thought you were routing me to residential. This looks like a Utah.
No, seriously, the Ring Around the Rosie one? Oh.
Yes. There's an old maintenance access point in there that'll take you through the waste disposal system and into the Cassini Towers. Stay sharp.
Sinister? The one with I very rarely ever encountered a good hacking minigame. And I think the only time I've ever encountered one was in like a game where that was like it was a puzzle game and that was the mechanic. Oh, nice. Well, that missing that shot really solved issues. God damn. Telekinesis was not being my friend. Okay, I'm supposed to go in there, so we're not going to go in there. We're going to go check out the rest of the area for loot. Isaac, everything okay? Proceeds to stomp on every dead body he sees with ruthless efficiency. Buddy, I don't know if that's an okay thing to do to bodies. I just know it's gonna pull some fucking scare with one of these vents. I just know it is. I know it's gonna do it at some point.
Sees this. You can use this to pull blades off dead ones and shoot back in there. Watch. Watch. I stayed like 3 hours using this trick. You see? Just shoot it back in there.
This'll kill me, won't it? We're gonna not go in the extreme danger garbage compactor. We have to go in the extreme danger garbage compactor, don't we? Vents are so anxiety-inducing. Mainly, I don't know, I have stuff around like crawling through a small space that, ugh. Yeah, and then I can get a capacity and damage and a capacity and damage that direction. What does the special do? Probably save now that I've made that change. It'd be kind of funny if I did the plasma gun only challenge. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not good enough at this game. I forgot to activate something. Where are you? I'm really missing a lot of shots with telekinesis. I need to get better at it. Oh, right. This is where they add in, like, true 3D movement, zero gravity. Which to me is less interesting than the, like, launching-based system of 1. But it's fine. What am I supposed to do now? Okay. This is fine. Alright. That's a good pun, Lonely Flower Pot. Telekinesis, but I don't know any. I know you're here. Like, I can fucking hear you. Please just walk out and fight me. I don't have any power nodes. Always break bodies. You don't want them coming back later to fight you. Isn't that a store? Okay. Did I play Callisto Protocol? No, I haven't played Callisto Protocol. Didn't have the money to buy it. And then I heard it was kind of bad and had a lot of, like, really rough melee combat that didn't sound very interesting. I wish the game had been better handled. From what I've heard, it hasn't been the best. Okay, we're gonna go back and open that secret room and see what's in there. I'll probably have to drop some shit. That's fine. Okay. Well, that was worth more than 10,000 gold, so... let's see. I think I should drop... This is, Isaac, your inventory needs to be visible. Yeah, that was worth it. Like, I just got enough gold to buy another power node, plus some free ammo and a few other things, so... I did think the idea of mixing elements of... What was that noise? I hate these things so much.
Marion, I'm just going to leave this log here for you to find when you come get the rest of my stuff. I hope I don't forget anything. This is a really big deal. The rebirth is going to happen very soon. Just like they said, this is a very special time. Like, once in a lifetime. Actually, once in a million lifetimes. They say we've been preparing for this since before we were human. Do you know how special that makes us? We're the ones who get to see it. I'm so excited. My skin is tingling. I've got chills. Okay, I've got to go. The ceremonies begin in half an hour. I don't want to be late. Bye, sis. I love you so much. Come join us. Haha. Okay, bye. What a weird... What a weird sentence. Are you ready to become body horror creatures? I want the pulse rifle. It's just so useful for dealing with those little things. I've made my decision. Next store we get to. No items? Oh, I hate this. I didn't realize it was gonna be Sally. I thought it was like a husband messaging his wife or something. Yeah, I wanna play the Resident Evil remakes. I wanna play the original Resident Evils, and I wanna play the Silent Hills. Mainly 2, but also 3. I should really use stasis more often. I've got so many stasis packs. Oh good, the game's doing voices again? That's fun. It's fine.
Timing soldiers have found me. They're tracking me in some sort of gunship.
You're almost here. Hurry.
That body's not dead. Now it's dead. Remember, if you can't rip their limbs off with telekinesis, they're still living. That's objective. Oh, what a spooky segment. Pathologic's not really a horror game. Pathologic is a pathologic. It's kind of hard to place what it is. Like, I genuinely, it's very hard to say what a pathologic is. That's valid digital booth. I could not play that game in VR. I think I'd actually like have either a panic attack or injure myself out of fear. Having a speaking Isaac just feels wrong. Which is funny because in 3 out of the 4 games with the name Deadspace, where Isaac is in them, Isaac speaks. done? Excellent. I haven't really played through any of the Amnesias or even tried to. I don't know, just swearing Isaac feels so wrong. I'm used to heavy breaths, anxious Isaac.
By the millions, people flocked to hear more about the marker and the unity it promised after Michael Altman told the world of his
Oh, this is gonna be great.
But there were those who felt threatened by Altman's message. On March 15, 2215, Altman was assassinated and thus became the first martyr for the church. In 2214, a geophysicist named Michael Altman made a discovery that would change history. Buried at the impact site of a crater near the Yucatan Peninsula, he uncovered a divine alien presence, the marker. The marker spoke to Altman and revealed a plan that would unify
Okay, if you want to call that divine, that's something you can do, I guess. I just realized I'm like slumped way out of the frame.
Altman's followers mourned his death but found divine solace in his message of unity. They would not allow the truth to be silenced and form the Church of Unitology to bring his teachings to the world.
I think it would be cool if we had like a canonically mute character and it was treated as like actual disability representation where the character does speak in sign language.
Believers can be found across all social, economic, and cultural groups, and more are joining every day.
What's Anodyne? I don't think I've heard of that one.
Growing from a small group of devout miners on Titan, the Titan Station Church of Unitology has flourished into a hub of Unitology worship, practice, and learning. It boasts one of the largest and most beautiful churches in the Sol system, and is often the site of the annual Unitology Enigma Symposium. As we await glorious convergence, it is important to continue to nurture our relationship with the marker and understand the future it is preparing for us. The marker calls to all of us. It is our duty to approach it with an open heart and open mind.
That's your art for your church? I'm sure everything's fine. I'd say the church design in this game is very,
It's Timon! He's found you! Into the church, hurry!
Sorry, it's very Warhammer 40k.
Dana, the Church of Unitology? Right here.
It's one of the few places on Titan Station that Tideman can't monitor. Separation of church and state.
No, Dana, we shouldn't be in here. This is the last place we want to be right now.
Isaac! My brother died trying to rescue you. This is important. This will work. I'm in the safe room at the top of the church. Meet me there, okay?
Yeah, like, it's very future gothic, but it's playing with certain visuals in interesting ways. I like it. I think it is good. I am buying a normal pulse rifle. I am going to get this pulse rifle. I know it's a little cheaty, but I'm here to have fun. Now to upgrade the best weapon ever. Not the pulse rifle. Forged plasma. Do I go this direction or this direction? I think this direction because it gets me to the special faster. But like, what is Anodyne about? That's kind of my curiosity, I guess. Or like, what is the genre of Anodyne? Because everyone's just kind of saying it's a good game, but I'm like, but I don't know what it is. If I can explore, I may as well.
Two tines entwined. From the words of our savior, Michael Altman, we know that all life intertwines at the end to become one. One mind, one body, one voice. The marker echoes this with its intertwined spires. We echo this with our intertwined arms. Fingers touching in oneness at the top, it is our sacred ceremonial gesture, used in greeting and in the opening to all ceremonies, large and small.
I don't know why that's the voice I went with, but it's what you're getting, so enjoy. No. I'm glad I explored up there.
Isaac, can you see the symbols too?
Straws. Yes, I see the symbols.
We are a threat to them. I know it. We have to work together.
Work together? Who's them? When
It's kind of like Link's Awakening.
Straws.
Okay.
Work will be straws.
That makes me so happy. Thank you. Also, Sakura, is it okay for me to just say your name, or would you prefer I not? Because you said your name during. For contrast, Soccer Tetris was the guest on Video Gems today, which we just recorded, which was very fun. I'm really excited for people to see that episode because I think it's one of my fave. All of them are my favorite. Every time we recorded Video Gems episode, I'm like, this one's my favorite. And it's not. It's like, I think it's immediacy bias because they're all just really fun, and I like talking with other artists. Yeah. There we go. Maximum damage! But yeah, definitely, Alex. That's a huge compliment, thank you. Okay, so Anodyne's a sort of Zelda, but like very specific era of 2D Zelda. Make sure you can't be woken back up. Attention, tour guide staff. Please remember to keep all visitors in your sight at all times. The indoctrination centers are strictly off limits to the casual public. Remember, be the light in the room for those who walk in darkness. I only missed 2 episodes that were recorded like back to back. They were over a 2-day period. That's all I missed. So yeah, I'm back for a lot of the. They drank the Kool-Aid. How subtle, game designers! What subtlety in your design? Do you get it? Do you get it, chat? Religious cults bad. Sorry. Sometimes I find like when media is like so blatant with it, it's a little funny. I don't think it's a bad thing or anything. I'm not making fun of the game. I just find it really funny because it's like, do you get the theme? I said it during the first one, but like, Deadspace as a franchise is very about both capitalism and its interrelationship with certain types of Christianity, particularly evangelicalism, and
The second cycling
Yeah.
was more harsh, resulting in a pressure snap that popped people's ears and sent several to medical. That was not needed.
Shit. No. It's fine. I know writers who use subtlety, and they're all cowards. Where are you? Fuck. That's not good. Oh, fuck. No. I'm spamming it! I'm spamming it! God damn! I wanted a spike! Ow, fuck. That is annoying. That's okay. It didn't just use up my medium health pack, did it? It did, didn't it? It did. IMO automatic healing should always use the smallest health pack first. But that's just me. Oh yeah, there's also the Scientology stuff. There's also the Scientology stuff as well. Like there's a lot of it's playing with a lot of specific cults. There's Mormonism in there as well at times. Obviously this entire section of Dead Space 2 is referencing, what is the name of that one? The one where all the members of the cult drank Kool-Aid and died. I did not describe that well, but I'm like, I can't, you know, say certain things on these platforms. Yeah, which is annoying. Because I didn't want it to use my medium health pack, so I wanted to save that because it's more space efficient. You know? Does this go back to the main hall? Okay, it does. Oh cool, there's a save station over here. Well, that's where I came from. Meh. Have a good shower. I guess, as I said, I don't think it's a good or a bad thing. I just find it funny. You know what I mean? Which there's a big difference between something being in a work of art and it being bad, and something being in a work of art and it's fine, it's just kind of funny to me specifically. And I think the reality is that line is always going to depend on the audience member and the audience in general, and the intended audience versus the non-intended audience. You know, like, I think it's a good discussion point. I'm clarifying where I'm coming from with it. Oh. That was dumb of me. I just wanted to see what would happen. Oh, did I lose a lot of progress? Okay, no, I just... Maybe unitology's for you. I'm sure it's fine. It's all gonna be okay. I missed the obvious panel on the wall. Oh, I see.
Please replace the fuse for the observation center door in the junction pillar. Vandalism in the church is not permitted.
Oh, I can't. Okay. Well then... How am I supposed to... Am I dumb? Am I missing something? Oh. I was missing something. I shouldn't have said dumb. That was bad of me. Sorry. Oops. Did not intend to do that. Okay, game. That's fine. Yeah, definitely soccer. There's like, it's a thing of, I think it's fine when you make certain works of art that are intended to be very, very explicit to the audience with certain things, right? I actually think that sometimes... Security suit. Okay. Dope. Gimme. I can't get back out? Okay. I was like... Isaac just no-clipped through the walls, but that's fine. Yeah. I think I'm gonna run back to the store and get my suit upgrade. Let me through, 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 let me through. Thank you. You can really see around this time period where games first started doing what I would say like is most, like Dark Souls is most famous for doing, but wasn't exclusive to Dark Souls, of like really having these like interconnected levels where you open up pathways back to where you came from. Dead Space 1 does it a little bit, but Dead Space 2 definitely does it a little bit more. And that's just great design. I love games that do that. Okay, how much does security suit cost? Okay, I need to sell things. Fuck, I have to sell a lot of things. I'm gonna sell the normal plasma cutter because I don't need it. Security suit, yes. Upgrade! Oh, I'm glad that we're getting upgrades. Needed them. Alright, we're gonna read some Poe now, I think. Yeah, I've heard that the remake of Shimura is like way more interconnected. That's a pretty significant upgrade for the second suit in the game. Unless I've skipped to like the third suit by accident. Nope, yeah, this is the second, this must be the second suit. Because it's got 3 slots. Or 3 tiers. Oh. These games get so much better once you get a second suit. That's actually really cool of the Dead Space remake to do, because I think the Ishimura does a really good job of giving you a sense of place and space that you occupy and being a location, let's call it. But why is that so big? We're going to I need to crop it. How do I start there? And then so sorry I'm doing this. Again, this is not my usual setup. Because I'm at my parents' place, and to get the camera to work with my computer, I had to use a different software. As you can see, despite being the same phone camera, the quality is drastically lower. I think it's like 480p or something like that. There we go. Okay. Ta-da! And let's go over here and just really quickly go to my history, if my mouse would cooperate. Where is it?
Working with indigenous
No, ads, stop. Also, like, maybe don't try to advertise off of profiting marginalized groups, random housing thing, government of Canada thing, you know, the government that caused all the housing issues in the first place. I don't think that they get to do that. You know? I think once you are the cause of that is way too loud. 1 second. Okay, and where's my... Hello, chat. I can put you back on the thing. Okay. Thank you so much for the donation, whoever gave that. I really appreciate it. Thank you. If you want me to say anything silly, let me know. Oh, I can't see my Ko-Fi. I'd have to... I will try to go see if I can see it. We'll see. I can't remember if I signed in on the computer or not. Actually, I'm pretty sure I can just use the Google Instant login. It's just otherwise I'd have to pull up my password manager and it would be a whole process. Okay. I am looking at the details. Okay. Smoker's Bowl Texan accent into reading tonight. That would be awesome. No worries if that's too much work though. I love you either way. Well, thank you, Anonymous, for the support. God, do you want me to read a poem in a Texan drawl? I don't know exactly what Smoker's Bowl Texan sounds like. So I apologize for not knowing the intricacies of a state I've never been to. Though I have a number of friends from there that I play video games with regularly. I think it'll probably just slip into sounding like Drifter, so apologize in advance. Alright. Kind solace in a dying hour. Such, Father, is not now my theme. I will not madly deem that power of earth may shrive me of the sin. This is, I want, that one George W. That was not where that was not Texas. Think Gandalf. Okay. Like right up in here. Like right in there? Yeah. Kind solace in a dying hour. Such, Father, is not now my theme. I will not madly deem that power of earth may shrive me of the sin. Unearthly pride that reveled in, I have no time to dote or dream. You call it hope, that fire of fire. It is but agony of desire. If I can hope, O God, I can. Its fount is holier, more divine. I would not call thee fool, old man, but such is not a gift of thine. Know thou the secret of a spirit, bowed from its wild pride into shame, O yearning heart, I did inherit thy withering portion with the fame. The searing glory which hath shone amid the jewels of my throne, halo of hell, and with a pain not hell shall make me fear again. O craven heart, for the lost flowers and sunshine of my summer hours. The undying voice of that dead time, with its interminable chime, rings in the spirit of a spell upon thy emptiness, a knell. I have not always been as now, the fevered diadem on my brow I claimed and won usurpingly. Hath not the same fierce heirdom given Rome to the Caesar, this to me? The heritage of a kingly mind and a proud spirit which hath striven triumphantly with humankind. On mountain soil I first drew life, the mists the Taglay have shed nightly their dews upon my head, and I believe the winged strife and tumult of the headlong air have nestled in my very hair. I have no idea how bad this is. I'm so sorry. If this is a terrible Texan accent, I really apologize. It's not something I've practiced, so... So late from heaven that dew it fell, mid dreams of an unholy night, upon me with a touch of hell, with the red flashing of the light from clouds that hung like banners o'er. Appeared to my half-closing eye the pageantry of monarchy, and the deep trumpet thunder roar came hurriedly upon me, telling of human battle where my voice, my own voice, silly child, was swelling. Oh, how my spirit would rejoice and leap within me at the cry, the battle cry of victory. The rain came down upon my head unsheltered, and the heavy wind rendered me mad and deaf and blind, but it was but man, I thought, who shed laurels upon me, and the rush, the torrent of the chilly air, gurgled within my ear the crush of empires, with the captive's prayer, the hum of suitors, and the tone of flattery round a sovereign's throne. My passions, from that hapless hour, is usurped a tyranny which men have deemed, since I have reached to power, my innate nature. Be it so, but, Father, there lived one who then in my boyhood, when their fire burned with a still intenser glow, for passion must with youth expire. In then who knew this iron heart in women's weakness had a part. I had no words, alas, to tell the loveliness of loving well, nor would I no attempt to trace the more than beauty of a face whose lineaments upon my mind are shadows on the unstable wind. Yeah, it's more Georgia or Alabama. I'm sorry, that's where it went. Thus I remember having dwelt some page of your early lore upon with loitering eye till I have felt the letters, with their meaning melt the fantasies with none. Oh, she was worthy of all love, love as in infancy was mine. 'Twas such an angel's mind above might envy her young heart the shrine, of which my every hope and thought were incense than a godly gift, for they were childish and upright, pure, as her young example taught. Did I leave it, and adrift, thrust to the fire within for light. We grew in age and love together, roaming the forest and the wild. My breast her shield in wintry weather, and when the friendly sunshine smiled, and she would mark the opening skies, I saw no heaven, but in her eyes. Young love's first lesson is the heart. For mid that sunshine and those smiles, when from our little cares apart, and laughing at her girlish wiles, I'd throw me on her throbbing breast, and pour my spirit out in tears. There was no need to speak the rest, no need to quieten any fears of her, who asked no reason why, but turned on me her quiet eye. Yet more than worthy of the love my spirit struggled with and strove, when on the mountain peak alone ambitious lent it a new tone, and I had no being but in thee, the world and all it did contain, in the earth, the air, the sea, its joy, its little lot of pain. That was new pleasure, the ideal. Dim vanities of dreams by night, and dimmer nothings which were real, shadows and a more shadowy light, parted upon their misty wings, and so confusedly became thine image and a name, two separate yet most intimate things. I was ambitious. Have you known the passion, Father? You've not. A cottager, I marked a throne, half the world is all my own, and murmured at such lowly lot, but just like any other dream. Upon the vapor of the dew my own had passed, did not the beam of beauty which did while it throw, the minute, the hour, the day, oppress my mind with double loveliness. We walked together on the crown of a high mountain, which looked down far from its proud natural towers of rock and forest on the hills, the dwindled hills, begirt with bowers and shouting with 1,000 rills. I spoke to her of power and pride, but mystically in such guise that she might deem it naught beside the moment's converse. In her eyes I read, perhaps too carelessly, a mingled feeling with my own. The flush on her bright cheek to me seemed to become a queenly throne, too well that I should let it be light in the wilderness alone. Wrapped myself in grandeur then, and donned a visionary crown, yet it was not that fantasy had thrown her mantle over me, but that among the rabble, men, lion ambition is chained down and crouches to a keeper's hand. Not so in deserts, where the grand, the wild, the terrible conspire with their own breath to fan his fire. Look round thee now on Samarcand. Is she not queen of earth? Her pride above all cities in her hand, their destinies and all beside of glory which the world hath known. Stands she not nobly and alone? Falling, veriest stepping stone, shall form the pedestal of a throne, and who her sovereign to more? He whom the astonished people saw striding o'er empires haughtily, a diademed outlaw. O human love, thou spirit given on earth of all we hope in heaven, whilst fallst into the soul like rain upon the Syric withered plain, and failing in thy power to bless, but leav'st the heart a wilderness. Idea, which bindest life around with music of so strange a sound, and beauty of so wild a birth. For I have won the earth. When Hope, the eagle that towered, could see no cliff behind him in the sky, his pinions were bent droopingly, and homeward turned his softened eye. 'Twas sunset, when the sun will part. There comes a sullenness of heart to him who still would look upon the glory of the summer sun. That soul will hate the evening mist, so often lovely, and will list to the sound of the coming darkness, known to those whose spirits hearken, as one who in a dream of night would fly, but cannot from a danger nigh. What though the moon, the white moon, Shed all the splendor of her noon, her smile is chilly, and her beam in that time of dreariness will seem so like you gather in your breath a portrait taken after death. And boyhood is a summer sun, whose waning is the dreariest one, for all we live to know is known, and all we seek to keep hath flown. Let life then, as the dayflower, fall with the noonday beauty which is all. I reached my home no more, for all had flown who made it so. I passed from out its mossy door, and though my tread was soft and low, a voice came from the threshold stone of one whom I had earlier known. Oh, I defy thee, hell, to show on beds of fire that burn below a humbler heart, a deeper woe. Father, I firmly do believe, I know for death, who comes for me from regions the best afar, where there is nothing to deceive, hath lift his iron gate ajar, and rays of truth you cannot see are flashing through eternity. I do believe the Iblis hath a snare in every human path. Else how, when in the holy grove I wandered of the idol, love, who daily scents his snowy wings with incense of burnt offerings from the most unpolluted things, whose pleasant bowers are yet so riven above with trellised rays from heaven, no mote may shun, no tiniest fly, the lightning of his eagle eye. How was it that ambition crept, unseen amid the revels there, till growing bold he laughed and leapt in the tangles of love's very hair? God, poet just has such a way with words. That was Tamerlane. I forgot to say which poem it was. I think we're also going to do The Mask of the Red Death tonight, which is actually a shorter one. Probably Annabelle Lee as well. We're just going to burn through a few of them. But I hope that performance was somewhat entertaining and interesting. And sorry I couldn't quite nail a Texan accent. It kind of became Alabama. It kind of became, when I drive a Lincoln. You know, it was a little Matthew McConaughey. All right. Which I have to say, if you told me when I started reading this that I would be doing Tamerlane like Matthew McConaughey, I wouldn't have believed you. Anyway, let me know what you thought. I hope it was enjoyable. I hope it was interesting. What I need to do is I need to like listen to a Texan accent. I'm just gonna really quickly pull up how to do a Texan accent so I can fulfill that request. Thank you.
Texas is big. So there are a lot of different kinds of accents in Texas. So we're going to work on a general Texas accent. What's the oral posture of a general Texas accent?
We're going to learn something today, Chad.
A lot of bunching in the back of the tongue. The back of the tongue is raised up against the back molars. And the opening in the back of the throat is so small that sometimes you get that nasal, twangy sound that you hear right now. And the lip corners are tense, so you don't get a lot of opening in the mouth. Let's talk about R coloring. Don't be shy. Rachel runs errands for her mother and father on Saturday. Have fun with them R's, y'all. And hear how that R coloring affects words like her. Rachel runs errands for her mother and father on Saturday.
Whenever I do Southern accents, it always becomes it becomes a little like I just can't do a feminine one. Except I can sort of do that Southern Belle type thing, but it's not perfect. It's all right. I put it at like a 50-50 on quality. It's not the worst thing I can do, but it's not great. Well, I'll see if I can pull it off. I probably won't be able to pull it off, but I just thought I'd take a quick look and see what it was like. You come to me on the day of my nurse. Sorry. The Red Death had long devastated the country. No pestilence had ever been so fatal or so hideous. Blood was its avatar and its seal, the redness and the horror of blood. There were sharp pains and sudden dizziness, and then profuse bleeding at the pores with dissolution. The scarlet stains upon the body, and especially upon the face of the victim, were the pest ban which shut him out from the aid and from the sympathy of his fellow man. And the whole seizure, progress, and termination of the disease were the incidents of half an hour. But the Prince Prospero were happy and dauntless and sagacious. When his dominions were half depopulated, he summoned to his presence 1,000 hale and light-hearted friends from amongst the knights and dames of his court, and with these retired to the deep seclusion of one of his castellated abbeys. This was an extensive and magnificent structure, the creation of the prince's own eccentric yet august taste. A strong and lofty wall girdled it in. The wall had gates of iron. The courtiers, having entered, brought furnaces and massy hammers and welded the bolts. They resolved to leave means neither of ingress nor egress to the sudden impulses of despair or of frenzy from within. The abbey was amply provisioned with such precautions that the courtiers might bid defiance to contagion. The external world could take care of itself. In the meantime, it was folly to grieve or to think. The prince had provided all the appliances of pleasure. There were buffoons, there were improvisatori, there were ballet dancers, there were musicians, there was beauty, there was wine. All these in security were within. Without was the Red Death. It was toward the close of the 5th or 6th month of his seclusion, and while the pestilence raged most furiously abroad, that the Prince Prospero entertained his 1,000 friends at a masked ball of the most unusual magnificence. It was a voluptuous scene, that masquerade, but first let me tell of the rooms in which it was held. There were 7. An imperial suite and many palaces, however. Such suites form a long and straight vista, while the folding doors slide back nearly to the wall on either hand, so that the view of the whole extent is scarcely impeded. Here the case was very different, as might have been expected from the Duke's love of the bizarre. The apartments were so irregularly disposed that the vision embraced but little more than one at a time. There was a sharp turn at every 20 or 30 yards, and at each turn a novel effect to the right and left. In the middle of each wall, a tall and narrow Gothic window looked out upon a closed corridor which pursued the windings of the suite. These windows were of stained glass, whose color varied in accordance with the prevailing hue of the decorations of the chamber into which it opened. That at the eastern extremity was hung, for example, in blue, and vividly blue were its windows. The second chamber was purple in its ornaments and tapestry, and here the panes were purple. The third was green throughout, and so were the casements. The fourth was furnished and lighted with orange, the fifth with white, the sixth with violet. The 7th apartment was closely shrouded in black velvet tapestries that hung all over the ceiling and down the walls, fallen in heavy folds upon a carpet of the same material and hue, but in this chamber only the color of the windows failed to correspond with the decorations. The panes here were scarlet, a deep blood color. Now in no one of the 7 apartments was there any lamp or candelabrum amid the profusion of golden ornaments that lay scattered to and fro or depended from the roof. There was no light of any kind emanating from lamp or candle within the suite of chambers, but in the corridors that followed the suite there stood, opposite to each window, a heavy tripod bearing a brazier of fire that projected its rays through the tinted glass and so glaringly illuminated the room. And thus were produced a multitude of gaudy and fantastic appearances. But in the western and black chamber, the effect of the firelight that streamed upon the dark hangings through the blood-tinted panes was ghastly in the extreme, and produced so wild a look upon the countenances of those who entered that there were few of the company bold enough to set foot within its precincts at all. It was in this apartment also that there stood against the western wall a gigantic clock of ebony. Its pendulum swung to and fro with a dull, heavy, monotonous clang, and when the minute hand made the circuit of the face and the hour was to be stricken, there came from the brazen lungs of the clock a sound which was clear and loud and deep and exceedingly musical. but also peculiar note and emphasis that at each lapse of an hour the musicians of the orchestra were constrained to pause momentarily in their performance to hearken to the sound, and thus the waltzers perforce ceased their evolutions, and there was a brief disconcert of the whole gay company, and while the chimes of the clock yet rang, it was observed that the giddiest grew pale, and the more aged and sedate passed their hands over their brows as if in confused reverie or meditation. But when the echoes had fully ceased, a light laughter at once pervaded the assembly. The musicians looked at each other and smiled as if their own nervousness and folly, and made whisper and vows, each the other, that the next chime of the clock should produce in them no similar emotion. And then, after the lapse of 60 minutes, which embraced 3,600 seconds of the time that flies, there came yet another chime of the clock, and then there were the same disconcert and tremulousness and meditation as before. But in spite of these things, it was a gay and magnificent revel. The tastes of the Duke were peculiar. He had a fine eye for colors and effects. He disregarded the decora of mere fashion. His plans were bold and fiery, and his conceptions glowed with barbaric luster. There are some who would have thought him mad. His followers felt that he was not. It was necessary to see and touch him to be sure that he was not. He had directed in great part the movable embellishments of the 7 chambers upon occasion of this great fete, and it was his own guiding taste which had given character to it, the masqueraders. Sorry, I was laughing. I said the French word in the accent. Be sure they were grotesque. There were much glare and glitter and piquancy and phantasm, much of what has been seen since seen in Hernani. There were arabesque figures with unsuited limbs and appointments. There were delirious fancies such as the madman fashions. There were much of the beautiful, much of the wanton, much of the bizarre, something of the terrible, and not a little of that which might have excited disgust. To and fro in the 7 chambers there stalked, in fact, a multitude of dreams, and these, the dreams, writhed in and about, taking hue from the rooms and causing the wild music of the orchestra to seem as the echo of their steps. And, anon, there strikes the ebony clock which stands in the hall of the velvet, and then, for a moment, all is still and all is silent save the voice of the clock. The dreams are stiff frozen as they stand, but the echoes of the chime die away. They have endured but an instant, and a light half-subdued laughter floats after them as they depart. And now again the music swells, and the dream lives and writhes to and fro more merrily than ever, taking hue from the many-tinted windows through which streamed the rays from the tripods. But at the chambers which lies most westwardly of the 7, there are now none of the maskers who venture, for the night is waning away, and there flows a ruddier light through the blood-colored panes, and the blackness of the sable drapery appalls, and to him whose foot falls upon the sable carpet, there comes from the near clock of ebony a muffled peal, more solemnly emphatic than any which reaches their ears who indulge in the more remote gaieties of the other apartments. But these other apartments were densely crowded, and in them beat feverishly the heart of life. And the revel went whirlingly on, until at length there commenced the sounding of midnight upon the clock, and then the music ceased, as I have told, and the evolution of the waltzers were quieted. And there was an uneasy cessation of all things as before, but now there was 12 strokes to be sounded by the bell of the clock, and thus it happened, perhaps, that more of thought crept, with more of time, into the meditations of the thoughtful among those who reveled. And thus, too, it happened, perhaps, that before the last echoes of the last chime had utterly sunk into silence, there were so many individuals in the crowd who had found leisure to become aware of the presence of a masked figure which had arrested the attention of no single individual before. And the rumor of this new presence having spread itself whisperingly around, there arose at length from the whole company a buzz, or murmur, expressive of disapprobation and surprise, but then finally of terror, of horror. and of disgust. In an assembly of phantasms such as I have painted, it may well be supposed that no ordinary appearance could have excited such sensation. In truth, the masquerade license of the night was nearly unlimited, but the figure in question had out-Heroded Herod, and gone beyond the bounds of even the prince's indefinite decorum. There are chords in the hearts of the most reckless which cannot be touched without emotion, even with the utterly lost, to whom life and death are equally just. There are matters of which no jest can be made. The whole company, indeed, seemed now deeply to feel that in the costume and bearing of the stranger neither wit nor propriety existed. The figure was tall and gaunt, and shrouded from head to foot in the habiliments of the grave. The mask, which concealed the visage, was made so nearly to resemble the countenance of a stiffened corpse that the closest scrutiny must have had difficulty in detecting the cheat, and yet all this might have been endured, if not approved, by the mad revelers around. But the mummer had gone so far as to assume the type of the Red Death. His vesture was dabbled in blood, and his broad brow, with all the features of his face, was besprinkled with the scarlet horror. But the eyes of Prince Prospero fell upon this spectral image, which was a slow and solemn movement, as if more fully to sustain its role. Stalked to and fro among the waltzers, he was seen to be convulsed in the first moment with a strong shudder either of terror or distaste, but in the next his brow reddened with rage.
"Who dares?"
he demanded hoarsely of the courtiers who stood near him.
"Who dares insult us with this blasphemous mockery? Seize him and unmask him, that we may know whom we have to hang at sunrise from the battlements."
It was in the eastern or blue chamber in which stood the Prince Prospero as he uttered these words. They rang throughout the 7 rooms loudly and clearly, for the prince was a bold and robust man, and the music had been hushed at the waving of his hand. It was in the blue room where stood the prince with a group of pale courtiers by his side. At first, as he spoke, there was a slight Russian movement of this group in the direction of the intruder, who, at the moment, was also near at hand, and now, with deliberate and stately step, made closer approach to the speaker, but from a certain nameless awe with which the mad assumptions of the mummer had inspired the whole party, there was found none who put forth hand to seize him, so that, unimpeded, he passed within a yard of the prince's person, and, while the vast assembly, as if with one impulse, shrank from the centers of the room to the walls, he made his way uninterruptedly, but with the same solemn and measured step which had distinguished him from the first, through the blue chamber to the purple, through the purple to the green to the orange, through this again to the white, and even thence to the violet, ere a decided movement had been made to arrest him. It was then, however, that the Prince Prospero, maddening with rage and shame of his own momentary cowardice, rushed hurriedly through the 6 chambers, which none followed him on account of a deadly terror that had seized upon all. He bore aloft a drawn dagger, and had approached in rapid impetuosity to within 3 or 4 feet of the retreating figure, when the latter, having attained the extremity of the velvet apartment, turned suddenly and confronted his pursuer. There was a sharp cry, and the dagger dropped gleaming upon the sable carpet, upon which, instantly afterward, fell prostrate in death the Prince Prospero. Then, summoning the wild courage of despair, a throng of the revelers at once threw themselves into the black apartment, and seizing the mummer, whose tall figure stood erect and momentless within the shadow of the ebony clock, gasped in unutterable horror at finding the grave cerements and corpse-like mask, which they handled with so violent a rudeness, untenanted by any tangible form. The word was split across 2 lines and it fucked me, sorry. Untenanted by any tangible form, and now was acknowledged the presence of the Red Death. He had come like a thief in the night, and one by one dropped the revelers in the blood-bedewed halls of their revel, and died each in their despairing posture of his fall, and the life of the ebony clock went out with that of the last of the gay, and the flames of the tripods expired in darkness and decay, and the Red Death held illimitable dominion over all. That's an interesting one. I'm excited to see what they do with it in the show. Okay. thoughts on that performance. I think that voice was more inconsistent. But it's fine. I'll do something more traditional now. I forgot to water. I should have brought water down. Remember to hydrate, chat. Well, I get so silent in chat whenever I read. And I know you're all enjoying it. I just, it's a weird experience. Lo, death has reared himself a throne in a strange city lying alone. Far down within the dim west, where the good and the bad and the worst and the best have gone to their eternal rest, their shrines and this is the city and the sea. Have gone to their eternal rest, their shrines and palaces and towers, time-eaten towers that tremble not, resemble nothing that is ours, around by lifting winds forgot. Resignedly beneath the sky the melancholy waters lie. No rays from the holy heaven come down on the long night time of the town, but light from out the lurid sea stream up the turrets silently, gleams at the pinnacles far and free, up domes, up spires, up kingly halls, up fanes, up Babylon-like walls, up shadowy long-forgotten bowers of sculptured ivy and stone flowers. Up many and many a marvelous shrine, whose wreathed friezes intertwine the viol, the violet, and the vine. Resignedly beneath the sky the melancholy waters lie. It'll get automatically caught by the moderation beef, so just say the video name in chat. Anyway. The melancholy waters lie, so blend the turrets and shadows there that all seem pendulous in air, while from a proud tower in the town death looks gigantically down. Thereupon fanes and gaping graves yawn level with the luminous waves, but not the riches there that lie in each idol's diamond eye. Not the gaily jeweled dead tempt the waters from their bed, for no ripples curl, alas, along that wilderness of glass. No swellings tell that wind may be upon some far-off happier sea. No heavings hint that winds have been on seas less hideously serene. But lo, a stir is in the air. The wave, there is a movement there, as if the tower had thrust aside in a slightly sinking. The dull tide, as if their tops had feebly given a void within the filmy heaven. The waves had now a redder glow. The hours are breathing faint and low. And when amid no earthly moans, down that town shall settle hence, hell, rising from 1,000 thrones, shall do it reverence. A lot of short ones tonight. I get to at least like page 90. Okay, so we're gonna read Annabelle Lee and Berenice, and we'll save Pit and the Pendulum for another evening. But yeah, we're getting close to two-thirds of the way there. It would. I have to resist the urge to do an impression of the one guy in Holes who regularly sings does the Annabelle Lee poem. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived, whom you may know by the name of Annabelle Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child, in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabelle Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabelle Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabelle Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than me, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moons never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise. But I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and so, all the night tide, I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in the sepulchre, there by the sea, in her tomb, by the sound and sea. I don't invade dreams unless I have a purpose. That's another beautiful love poem by Poe. Deeply sad. He's such a deeply sad man. But I guess that's why I kind of vibe with his art so much. Also deeply funny when he does a comedy. Misery is manifold. The wretchedness of earth is multiform, overreaching the wide horizon as the rainbow, and hues are as various as the hues of that arch, as distinct too, yet as intimately blended, overreaching the wide horizon as the rainbow. How is it that from beauty I have derived a type of unloveliness? From the covenant of peace, a simile of sorrow, but as in ethics, evil is a consequence of good, so in fact, out of joy is sorrow born. Either the memory of past bliss is the anguish of today, or the agonies which are have their origin in the ecstasies which might have been. My baptismal name is Aegeus. That of my family I will not mention. Yet there are no towers in the land more time-honored than my gloomy, gray, hereditary halls. Our lines has been called a race of visionaries, and in many striking particulars, in the character of the family mansion, and the frescoes of the chief saloon, and the tapestries of the dormitories, and the chiseling of some buttresses in the armory, but more especially in the gallery of antique paintings, in the fashion of the library chambers, and lastly, in the very peculiar nature of the library's contents, there's more than sufficient evidence to warrant the belief. The recollections of my earliest years are connected with the chamber, with its volumes, of which later I will say no more. Here died my mother. Herein was I born. But it is mere idleness to say that I had not lived before, that the soul had no previous existence. You deny it? Let us not argue the matter. Convinced myself, I seek not to convince. There is, however, a remembrance of aerial forms, of spiritual and meaning eyes, of sounds, musical yet sad, a remembrance which will not be excluded, a memory like a shadow, vague, variable, indefinite, unsteady, and like a shadow, too. In the impossibility of my getting rid of it while the sunlight of my reason shall exist. In that chamber I was born. Thus awakening from the long night of what seemed but was not nonentity, at once into the very regions of fairyland, into a palace of imagination, into the wild dominions of monastic thought and erudition, it is not singular that I gazed around me with a startled and ardent eye, that I loitered away my boyhood in books and dissipated my youth in reverie, but it is singular that, as years rolled away, and the noon of manhood found me still in the mansion of my fathers, it is wonderful what a stagnation there fell upon the springs of my life, wonderful how total an inversion took place in the character of my commonest thought. The realities of the world affected me as visions, and as visions only, while the wild ideas of the lands of dreams became, in turn, not the material of my everyday existence, but in very deed that existence utterly and solely in itself. Berenice and I were cousins, and we grew up together in my paternal halls, yet differently we grew. I, ill of health and buried in gloom; she, agile, graceful, and overflowing with energy. Hers the ramble on the hillside, mine the studies of the cloister. I, living within my own heart, and addicted, body and soul, to the most intense and painful meditation. She, roaming carelessly through life, with no thought of the shadows in her path, of the silent flight of the raven-winged hours. Berenice! I call upon her name. Berenice. And from the grey ruins of memory 1,000 tumultuous recollections are startled at the sound. Vividly is her image before me now, as in the early days of her light-heartedness and joy. Oh, gorgeous yet fantastic beauty! Oh, sylph amid the shrubberies of Arnhem! O Naiad among its fountains, and then all is misery and terror, and a tale which should not be told. Disease,
A fatal disease fell like the simon upon her frame, and even while I gazed upon her, the spirits of change swept over her, pervading her mind, her habits, and her character, and in a manner the most subtle and terrible, disturbing even the identity of her person. Alas! The destroyer came and went, and the victim, where is she? I knew her not, or knew her no longer as Berenice. Among the numerous trains of maladies superinduced by that fatal and primary one which effected a revolution of so horrible a kind in the moral and physical being of my cousin may be mentioned as the most distressing and obstinate in its nature, a species of epilepsy not infrequently terminating in trance itself, trance very neatly resembling positive dissolution, and from which her manner of recovery was, in most instances, startlingly abrupt. In the meantime, my own disease, for I have been told that I should call it by no other appellation, my own disease then grew rapidly upon me, and assumed finally a monomaniac character of a novel and extraordinary form, hourly and momently gaining vigor, and at length obtaining over me the most incomprehensible ascendancy. This monomania, if I must so term it, consisted in a morbid irritability of those properties of the mind in metaphysical science termed the attentive. It is more than probable that I'm not understood, but I fear, indeed, that it is in no manner possible to convey to the mind of the merely general reader an adequate idea of that nervous intensity of interest, with which, in my case, the powers of meditation, not to speak technically, busied and buried themselves in the contemplation of even the most ordinary objects of the universe, to muse for long unwearied hours within my attention riveted to some frivolous device in the margin or in the typography of a book, to become absorbed for the better part of a summer's day in a quaint shadow falling aslant upon the tapestry or upon the floor, to lose myself for an entire night in watching the steady flame of a lamp or the empires of fire, to dream away whole days over the perfume of a flower, to repeat monotonously some common word until the sound, by dint of frequent repetition, ceased to convey any idea whatever to the mind, to lose all sense of motion or physical existence by means of absolute bodily quiescence, long and obstinately persevered in. Such were... I hate when they split words across sentences. It makes it really hard to read. That is a mental health mention that I need to write down. You are correct. I was going to note it after I finish. Such were a few of the most common and least pernicious vagaries induced by a condition of the mental faculties, not, indeed, altogether unparalleled, but certainly bidding defiance to anything like analysis or explanation. Yet let me not be misapprehended. The undue, earnest, and morbid attention thus excited by objects in their own nature frivolous must not be confounded in character with that ruminating propensity common to all mankind, and more especially indulged in by persons of ardent imagination. It was not even as might be at first supposed an extreme condition or exaggeration of such propensity, but primarily and essentially distinct and different. In the one instance, the dreamer or enthusiast, being interested by an object usually not frivolous, imperceptibly loses sight of this object in a wilderness of deductions and suggestions issuing therefrom, until, at the conclusion of a daydream often replete with luxury, he finds the incitamentum, or first cause of his musings, entirely vanished and forgotten. In my case, the primary object was invariably frivolous, although assuming, through the medium of my distempered vision, a refracted and unreal importance, few deductions, if any, were made, and those few pertinaciously returning in upon the original object as a center. The meditations were never pleasurable, and at the termination of the reverie, the first cause, so far from being out of sight, had attained that supernaturally exaggerated interest which was the prevailing feature of the disease. In a word, the powers of mind more particularly exercised with me. As I have said before, the attentive, and are, with the daydreamer, the speculative. My books, at this epoch, if they did not actually serve to irritate the disorder, partook, it will be perceived, largely, in their imaginative and inconsequential nature, of the characteristic qualities of the disorder itself. I well remember, among others, the treatise of the noble Italian Coelius Secundus Curio, De Amplitudine Beati Regni Dei, St. Austin's great work, The City of God, and Tertullian's De Con Christi, in which the paradoxical sentence, Mortis est Dei filius, credibile est quia in septum est et sepultus resurrexit, sotum est quia impossible est. I occupied my undivided time for many weeks of laborious and fruitless investigation. Thus, it will appear that, shaken from its balance only by trivial things, my reason bore resemblance to that ocean crag spoken of by Ptolemy Hephaestion, which, steadily resisting the attack of human violence and the fiercer fury of the waters and the winds, trembled only to the touch of the flower called asphodel. And although, to a careless thinker, it might appear a matter beyond doubt that the alteration produced by her unhappy malady and the moral condition of Berenice would afford me many objects for the exercise of that intense and abnormal meditation whose nature I have been at some trouble in explaining, it such was not in any degree the case. In the lucid intervals of my infirmity, her calamity indeed gave me pain, and taking deeply to heart that total wreck of her fair and gentle life, I did not fail to ponder frequently and bitterly upon the wonder-working means by which so strange a revolution has been so suddenly brought to pass. But these reflections partook not of the idiosyncrasy of my disease, and were such as would have occurred, under similar circumstances, to the ordinary mass of mankind. True to its own character, my disorder revelled in the less important but more startling changes wrought in the physical frame of Berenice, in the singular and most appalling distortion of her personal identity. During the brightest day of her unparalleled beauty, most surely I have never loved her. In the strange anomaly of my existence, feelings with me I have never been of the heart, and my passions always were of the mind. Through the grey of the early morning, among the trellised shadows of the forest at noonday, and in the silence of my library at night, she had flitted by my eyes, and I had seen her, not as the living, breathing Berenice, but as the Berenice of a dream, not as a being of the earth, earthy, but as the abstraction of such a being, not as a thing to admire, but to analyze, not as an object of love, but as the theme of the most abstruse, although desultory speculation. And now I shuddered in her presence, and grew pale at her approach, yet bitterly lamenting her fallen and desolate condition, I called to mind that she had loved me long, and in an evil moment I spoke to her of marriage. And at length the period of our nuptials was approaching, where, upon an afternoon in the winter of the year, one of those unseasonably warm, calm, and misty days which are the nurse of the beautiful Halcyon, I sat, as I thought, alone, in the inner apartment of the library, but uplifting my eyes, I saw that Berenice stood before me. Was it my own excited imagination, or the misty influence of the atmosphere, or the uncertain twilight of the chamber, or the grey draperies which fell upon her figure that caused in it so vacillating and indistinct an outline? I could not tell. She spoke no word, and I, not for worlds could I have uttered a syllable. An icy chill ran through my frame, a sense of insufferable anxiety oppressed me, a consuming curiosity pervaded my soul, and sinking back upon the chair, I remained for some time breathless and motionless, with my eyes riveted upon her person. Alas, its emaciation was excessive, and not one vestige of the former being lurked in any single line of the contour. My burning glances at length fell upon the face. The forehead was high and very pale and singularly placid, and the once jetty hairs fell partially over it and overshadowed the hollow temples with innumerable ringlets, now of a vivid yellow and jarring discordantly in their fantastic character with the reigning melancholy of the countenance. The eyes were lifeless and lustreless and seemingly pupilless, and I shrank involuntarily from the glassy stare to the contemplation of the thin and shrunken lips. They parted, and in a smile of peculiar meaning, the teeth of that changed Berenice disclosed themselves slowly to my view. Would to God that I had never beheld them, or that, having done so, I had died. The shutting of a door disturbed me. In looking up, I found that my cousin had departed from the chamber, but from the disordered chamber of my brain had not alas departed, and would not be driven away the white and ghastly spectrum of the teeth. Not a speck on their surface, not a shade on their enamel, not an indenture in their edges, but what that brief period of her smile had sufficed to brand, and upon my memory I saw them now even more unequivocally than I beheld them. The teeth. They were here and there and everywhere, and visibly and palpably before me, long, narrow, and excessively white, with the pale lips writhing about them, and as in the very moment of the first terrible development. Then came the full fury of my mania, and I struggled in vain against its strange and irresistible influence in the multiplied objects of the external world. I had no thoughts but for the teeth. For these I longed with a frenzied desire. All other matters and all different interests became absorbed in their single contemplation. They alone were present to the mental eye, and they, in their sole individuality, became the essence of my mental life. I held them in every light. I turned them in every attitude. I surveyed their characteristics. I dwelt upon their peculiarities. I pondered upon their conformation. I mused upon the alteration in their nature. I shuddered as I assigned to them in my imagination a sensitive and sentient power, and even when unassisted by the lips, a capability of moral expression. Of Mademoiselle Salle, it has been well said, que tu sais pas été des sentiments. And of Berenice, I more seriously believed, que tu sais donc été des idées. Des idées. Ah, there was the idiotic thought that destroyed me. Des idées. Ah, therefore it was that I coveted them so madly. I felt that their possession could alone ever restore me to peace in giving me back to reason. The Mademoiselle Salle quote translates roughly. Of all that is not, is the sentiments. No, that's not quite. Having a moment of momentary forgetfulness about what best to describe the. Sorry. Sorry. Not sure I can quite. I guess you could translate it to what all is not is the sentiments, and what all is teeth is the ideas. It's my best attempt at translation. It's kind of a weird sentence. And the evening closed in upon me thus, and then the darkness came and tarried and went, and the day again dawned, and the mists of a second night were now gathering around, and still I sat motionless in that solitary room, and still I sat buried in meditation, and still the phantasma of the teeth maintains its terrible ascendancy, as, with the most vivid and hideous distinctiveness, it floated about amid the changing light and shadows of the chamber. At length there broke in upon my dreams a cry as of horror and dismay, and thereonto, after a pause, succeeded the sound of troubled voices, intermingled with many low moanings of sorrow or of pain. I rose from my seat, and throwing open one of the doors of the library, saw standing out in the antechamber a servant maiden, all in tears, who told me that Berenice was no more. She had been seized with epilepsy in the early morning, and now, the closing in of the night, the grave was ready for its tenant, and all the preparations for the burial were completed. I found myself sitting in the library, and again sitting there alone. It seemed to me that I had newly awakened from a confused and exciting dream. I knew that it was now midnight, and I was well aware that since the setting of the sun, Berenice had been interred. But of that dreary period which intervened, I had no positive, at least no definite comprehension. Yet its memory was replete with horror. Horror more horrible from being vague, and terror more terrible from ambiguity. It was a fearful page in the record of my existence, written all over with dim and hideous and unintelligible recollections. I strived to decipher them, but in vain. While ever and anon, like the spirit of a departed sound, the shrill and piercing shriek of a female voice seemed to be ringing in my ears. I had done a deed. What was it? I asked myself the question aloud, and the whispering echoes of the chamber answered me. What was it? On the table beside me burned a lamp, and near it lay a little box. It was of no remarkable character, and I'd seen it frequently before, for it was the property of the family physician. But how came it there, upon my table, and why did I shudder in regarding it? These things were in no manner to be accounted for, and my eyes at length dropped to the open pages of a book, and to a sentence underscored therein. The words were the similar but simple ones of the poet Ibn Zayat. I'm not going to try that Latin sentence. It's very confusing and long. Why, then, as I perused them, did the hairs of my head erect themselves on end, and the blood of my body became congealed within my veins? There came a light tap at the library door, and pale as the tenant of a tomb, a menial entered upon tiptoe. His looks were wild with terror, and he spoke to me in a voice tremulous, husky, and very low. What said he, some broken sentences I heard. He told a wild cry disturbing the silence of the night, of the gathering together of the household, of a search in the direction of the sound, and then his tones grew thrillingly distinct as he whispered me of a violated grave, of a disfigured body enshrouded, yet still breathing, still palpitating, still alive. He pointed to my garments. They were muddy and clotted with gore. I spoke not, and he took me gently by the hand. It was indented with the impress of human nails. He directed my attention to some object against the wall. I looked at it for some minutes. It was a spade. With a shriek, I bounded to the table and grasped the box that lay upon it, but I could not force it open, and in my tremor it slipped from my hands and fell heavily and burst into pieces, and from it, with a rattling sound, there rolled out some instrument of dental surgery, intermingled with 32 small white and ivory-looking substances that were scattered to and fro about the floor. Well, that was a chilling story to end the night on. What an unpleasant and awful thing. Yeah, definitely gonna have to talk about that within representations of mental illness within Poe. But I hope he wanted the teeth. Okay, sometimes dudes just really have some weird desires, I guess. One sec, let me note the pages. Page 195. The entire Berenice story. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. If you've been enjoying everything I've been doing and what I was saying and stuff, maybe consider donating through the Ko-Fi or joining the Patreon. Patrons get access to the Discord and see the stuff I'm working on early, including scripts and videos and things. So I would recommend supporting through that way for the best benefit to you. But Ko-Fi works the best for me because it's just a direct. I don't lose money because Patreon takes a small cut. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me, and sleep well, and don't get buried alive and then have your teeth ripped out by your sibling. I think it's good life advice. Have a good one. Bye all.